What is going on, my peoples? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are healthy and well today on this beautiful, marvelous day. Shout out to all my lovely supporters joining us for the first time. Welcome to the family. I hope you all enjoyed this video today because it's kind of long, but it's one of them ones. 24 minutes to be exact. Today we'll be reacting to the entire history of London in 24 minutes. Now I got my phone on D&D. We gotta lock in. We gotta stay tuned into this video. No distractions. You see what I'm saying? Let's jump right into this. This might be the best history lesson I ever received in my life. If this is better than what I've learned throughout my schooling years, all these years, I'm writing a subpoena, bro. Stop playing with me, man. It's 24 minutes. They about to bunch it up. All right. Let's go ahead and see.
Stand on any street corner in London today, and you'll hear a dozen languages in as many minutes.
Facts. Diversity is fine.
Nearly 40% of Londoners were born outside the UK, making this one of the most diverse cities on Earth. But rewind 2,000 years, and you'd find marshland along a tidal river, barely inhabited, strategically useless to anyone except the Romans.
Hey, think about it. This how the whole globe looked at like a certain point of time. Like the city you in right now, the town, the neighborhood, the house you living in at matter of fact, it wasn't even there. You don't know what was there years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what happened in between? Invasion, fire, plague, revolution. A small trading post that became the heart of an empire. A city burned to ash and rebuilt from stone. Through conquest and catastrophe, London kept growing, kept adapting, kept pulling people in from everywhere. For centuries, we've had to imagine what those earlier versions of London actually looked like. Artist sketches, faded engravings, descriptions in old journals. But now, using AI trained on historical imagery, we can take those original drawings and paintings.
AI is crazy now. What?
Appeared in real life. The cobblestones, the crowds, the smoke rising from medieval chimneys. You're about to witness almost 2,000 years of history in one video.
Shout out to
Sit
AI,
back
man.
And relax.
We really get to see
through the incredible history of the capital of the United Kingdom, London.
Yo, we really get to see what it looked like 2,000 years ago. Like, this kind of seemed like the real thing, considering you guys know how developed AI is. So don't sit here and be like, oh, typical American, get excited over the... Don't do that to me now. Yeah, don't do that. I don't get excited over little things now. That my IQ gotta be getting excited over anything now. What do you think this is? And say that for Disney.
We journey through the incredible history of the capital of the United Kingdom.
Let me see.
London.
I want to see.
Let's go back to where it all
AI
began.
is like mad accurate. Like, kinda. AI get accurate for real. The Romans.
The year is 43 AD. 4 Roman legions have just landed on the Kent coast and they're pushing inland. They need a place to cross the Thames, somewhere they can build a bridge and establish supply lines back to the continent. They find it here, at the river's lowest crossing point before it widens into an estuary. Within a decade, Londinium is bustling. Merchants from Gaul, soldiers from Syria.
What? Londinium? I'm not gonna keep pausing. It was called Londinium before. Didn't we hear that in a video or something like that? That's why it's really ringing bells. Londinium, yo.
Londinium is bustling. Merchants from Gaul, soldiers from Syria, traders from North Africa. The Romans build their bridge exactly where London Bridge stands today. Around it, a port town springs up almost overnight. But 17 years after its founding, disaster strikes. Queen Boudica of the Iceni tribe has had enough of Roman occupation. Her army marches on Londinium and burns it to the ground. Archaeological digs have found a layer of red ash beneath the modern city, evidence of that destruction. The Romans rebuild, bigger than before. They construct a massive wall around the city, parts of which still stand 2,000 years later. At its peak, Londinium is home to maybe 60,000 people, the largest city in Britannia. Amphitheatres, bathhouses, forums. This isn't some frontier outpost anymore. It's a proper Roman city. Then, by around 410 AD, Rome itself is crumbling. Barbarian tribes are hammering the empire from all sides, and Britain is too far away too expensive to defend. Emperor Honorius sends word, "You're on your own." The legions pull out. Without Rome, Londinium's entire economy collapses. The trade networks that brought wine from Gaul and olive oil from Spain simply stop.
Oh, man.
Roman currency becomes worthless. The merchants leave, the officials leave, the skilled craftsmen leave.
Think about it. What is the good of all this stuff, that we got within Rome, and, we got people coming here trading this and that? What's the good and the purpose of all of this if all these other tribes keep trying to attack us, man? They're gonna keep trying to rob us and burn stuff that we're not doing this, but we gotta leave. We gotta go somewhere else. It would have pissed me off too. We gotta go. We gotta go.
The merchants,
they on the other side,
the officials,
they want us.
Skilled craftsmen leave.
Man.
Within a generation, a city of perhaps 50,000 people dwindles to a few hundred squatters living in the ruins. For the next 2 centuries, the grand buildings slowly fall apart. Roofs cave in, walls crumble, weeds push through mosaic floors. But the Thames keeps flowing, and rivers have a way of attracting new people with new ideas about what a city should be.
Man, imagine who found that. They was like, ooh.
The Saxons who settle in Britain after the Romans leave.
Now, real talk, if I found that city like that, I would have been like, oh, I don't know, we should be jumping for joy right now, or we should get on here. You know what I'm saying? We gotta go. Why is it like this? There was people here before, but they out. Nah, that had to be so confusing for the next person that found it. Oh my gosh. And then what about the next person?
The Saxons who settle in Britain after the Romans leave don't particularly like cities. They're farmers, village people. They actually avoid the old Roman city, seeing it as haunted, cursed. One Saxon poet calls the ruins the work of giants. They can't imagine how mere humans could have built such massive structures. Instead, around the 670s, they build a new settlement about a mile west of the Roman walls. They call it Londonvik, London Trading Town.
Londonvik?
This is where modern Covent Garden and the Strand are today. If you're watching a performance at the Royal Opera House, you're sitting directly above Saxon London. By the early 700s, goods are flowing in from all over. Amber from the Baltic, millstones and wine jars from the Rhineland, pottery and metalwork from France and Germany. At its peak, Londonvik might have 8,000 people living there. Not huge by Roman standards, but thriving. But then, the Vikings arrive.
Oh,
starting in the late 8th century,
Son,
Norse raiders keep hitting the settlement. These aren't just raids anymore. They're coming up the Thames in force. In 842, they sack Londonvik completely. In 851, they do it again. King Alfred the Great finally has enough. In 886, he retakes London from the Danes and does something clever. He abandons Londonvik and moves everyone back inside the old Roman walled city, which is much easier to defend. He repairs the ancient walls, recuts the defensive ditches. The city is now called Lundenburg, London Fortress. Londonvik is left empty, gradually earning a new name, Eldvik.
They done revamped Londinium?
Old settlement. That name survives today as Aldwych, the curved street in central.
I want to make sure I'm hearing that right. Basically, because they went back. They wasn't with the city vibes, they was with the farming vibes. So basically, okay.
Gradually earning a new name, Eldvik, the old settlement. That name survives today as Aldwych, the curved street in central London. Over the next century and a half, the city changes hands multiple times between Saxon and Danish rulers. In 1016, King Canute, yes, the one from the legend about commanding the tide, makes London his capital. When Edward the Confessor becomes king in 1042, he builds Westminster Abbey just west of the city. That decision will shape London's geography forever. The city for commerce, Westminster for power. Edward the Confessor dies childless in January 1066, and England tears itself apart over who should rule next.
Oh.
Harold Godwinson is crowned king, but across the Channel, William, Duke of Normandy, claims Edward promised him the throne. In September, Harold has to march north to fight off a Norwegian invasion. He wins, but he's barely caught his breath when news arrives. William has landed on the south coast with 7,000 Norman soldiers. Harold rushes his exhausted army south and meets William at Hastings on October 14th. By nightfall, Harold is dead, and William has won England. On Christmas Day 1066, he's crowned King of England at Westminster Abbey. The Anglo-Saxon era is over. The Normans have arrived, and they're going to rebuild England in their own image, starting with London.
London, okay. So this is the start of medieval London. Interesting.
William doesn't entirely trust London's population. They supported Harold after all. So he builds not one, but 3 fortresses to keep them in line. The biggest becomes...
Ain't that kind of like... I don't know. That's crazy. 3 though?
Not one, but 3 fortresses to keep them in line. The biggest becomes the Tower of London, which starts as a symbol of oppression and will remain a symbol of royal power for the next 1,000 years. The White Tower, its central keep, is a statement in stone. 90 feet high, walls 12 feet thick in places. It dominates the skyline, a constant reminder of who's in charge now. Medieval London is cramped, chaotic, and increasingly wealthy. By 1100, maybe 15,000 people live here. The city's merchants form guilds that control trades. Goldsmiths, fishmongers, drapers, mercers. These guilds become so powerful that the king has to negotiate with them. In 1215, when the barons force King John to sign the Magna Carta, London's support is crucial. The city extracts its own concessions: the right to elect its own mayor, freedom from arbitrary taxes. London Bridge, rebuilt in stone between 1176 and 1209, becomes a city unto itself.
Really?
It takes 33 years to build. Shops and houses line both sides. The bridge has a chapel, a drawbridge, even heads of
Man, you try to get something like this in today's time, I'm paying about $5 million. That's starting.
traitors displayed on spikes as a warning. For over 600 years, it's the only bridge across the Thames in London. Then, in 1348, ships arrive at London's docks carrying rats.
Yup.
And on those rats, fleas. And in those fleas, Yersinia pestis, the Black Death. Within 2 years, somewhere between a third and half of London's population is dead. The city that had grown to maybe 80,000 people is suddenly half empty. Entire streets are abandoned. Bodies pile up faster than they can be buried. Mass graves are dug in fields outside the city walls. The city recovers, slowly. By the late 14th century, London is growing again.
Man, how could the city recover? Like, people had to stay in order for the city to recover. And where did the plague go? Because they didn't find no cure, right? I used to ask this question so many times, and the teachers used to tell me no. So please let me know if there's something new out there. Was there a cure for the plague? And who was rebuild this? Who helped? I was out of there. Like, who stayed in London? Whoever did that was a true soldier for real. Like, what was the chances of not catching it? Because around that time, people weren't really so educated, Antibiotics. Well, they didn't have that around the time. Antibiotics and this and that and just something as simple as a mask. Maybe people around that time didn't know that they had to cover their face or don't touch this or. So of course, people don't know where it's coming from too. Like, man. Shout out to those people for real. Because think about it. If everybody eventually left London, like the survivors, then I guess that would bring new coming people. And then what they gonna do? Revamp the whole London again?
Slowly. By the late 14th century, London is growing again.
Nice.
Tensions are rising too. In 1381, peasants and workers march on London, demanding an end to serfdom and unfair taxes. Wat Tyler leads them. They storm the Tower, execute the Archbishop of Canterbury, burn the palace of John of Gaunt. The teenage king Richard II meets with them, makes promises. The peasants' revolt is ultimately crushed. Tyler is killed, the leaders hunted down and executed.
Oh.
But it terrifies the ruling class. The common people of London have discovered their power, and they won't forget it.
Yeah, the power when people come together, there ain't nothing more powerful than that, I tell you that.
By 1500, London's population has rebounded to about 50,000. Then something remarkable happens. It explodes. By 1600, it's 200,000. By 1650, it's nearly 400,000. London becomes the largest city in Europe. Henry VIII's break with Rome in the 1530s transforms the city's landscape. Henry wanted to divorce his first wife, but the Pope refused. So Henry broke away from the Catholic Church, made himself head of the new Church of England, and shut down all the monasteries. In London, monasteries owned massive amounts of land. Once Henry seized it, that property became available. Aristocrats and wealthy merchants bought it up and built grand houses. Suddenly, London had room to expand. Under Queen Elizabeth I, London becomes the cultural capital of Europe. The Globe Theatre opens on the South Bank in 1599. Shakespeare is staging Hamlet, Othello, King Lear. Meanwhile, merchants are getting wealthy from trade with the New World and Asia. The East India Company is founded in 1600, setting the stage for empire. But London has always been vulnerable to two things: disease and fire. The city is built almost entirely of timber with thatched roofs, dried straw and reeds. Houses are packed close together, upper floors overhanging narrow streets, nearly touching across the gaps. Open fires in every building for cooking and heating. Candles everywhere. No fire
Asking for it, man.
It's a tinderbox. Both disaster and disease strike in the 1660s with devastating effect. In 1665, the plague returns. Not the Black Death exactly, but close enough. At its peak, 7,000 Londoners are dying every week.
Every week?
Flee.
Damn. 7,000 was going every week? You ain't got enough room to even like bury bodies in it, but we gotta do. Man. Bro, imagine you gotta either bury each body or you gotta cremate each body, or like you gotta did they hold ceremonies back then? Did the families of those people want ceremonies? Or was it like, oh, it's too many like people going, we don't have time? Imagine how those families felt too. This was a ridiculous time. I ain't gonna lie. This was like a ridiculous. And the only thing we experienced close to this was COVID. COVID wasn't even as bad. COVID wasn't even, to me, I wasn't even alive during these times, but it wasn't even a quarter as bad. Look at how many people passed away, like lost their life from COVID. And those were people already with like sicknesses and illnesses, like weak hearts and everything. You know what I'm saying? This was taking out the youth and everything. It didn't matter if you was a newborn, bro. It don't matter how healthy you was. You could have been in the Olympics. It's taking you out. Like, it was crazy in these times, bro. Man, I would have got up out there. That's what I'm saying. Like, and it wasn't that easy, though. Imagine just, let's relocate. Man, it wasn't that easy. It's not that easy, especially if you getting money in London.
Not the Black Death exactly, but close enough. At its peak, 7,000 Londoners are dying every week. The wealthy flee to the countryside. The poor are trapped. By the time it burns out, maybe 100,000 people are dead, a quarter of the city's population.
rich people done got up out of there.
The following year, on September 2nd, 1666, a fire starts in a bakery on Pudding Lane.
Hey, if I was rich, and I was wealthy around that time, and maybe, let's say I had a business or something, or I had enough money to start one or something, some type of trading business or a goods business or something, you know, like a type of merchant shop or something for people to work in, or maybe like a farm or something, so we could produce for ourselves, you know, for the economy and help out. I'll be like, hey, y'all come with me. Since, you know, you guys don't have enough money to actually escape, man, please come with me, and I'm going to offer you now. I'm going to offer you guys multiple positions and jobs, this and that, whatever you want. You know, we could work things out. I'm going to pay you. You can pay you. You can have the tips for yourself, all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I would have straight up helped the people, man, and see how much people I could honestly take. But I don't know how rich, what rich was, you know, was around that time. Rich could have been $100, man. You know, like today's time we living in, wealthy is a word you gotta use.
1666, a fire starts in a bakery on Pudding Lane. It's been a hot, dry summer. Strong winds are blowing. The fire spreads faster than anyone thought possible.
And then the buildings.
For 4 days, London burns. 85% of the city within the walls is destroyed. 13,000 houses gone. 87 churches, including the old St. Paul's Cathedral. Remarkably, only about 6 people die in the fire itself, but 100,000 are left homeless.
Oh.
Christopher Wren sees an opportunity. He proposes a completely new city plan. Wide boulevards, classical architecture, open squares. It's an enlightened vision.
So this is how it started. Because London wasn't always like this. This is how it started. And if I'm not mistaken, ain't it like this? Through majority of Europe. I don't want to say all of it, but like, ain't this how it is? I gotta look at the map again. I could be wrong, but I feel like...
Boulevards, classical architecture, open squares. It's an enlightened vision.
This is the US right now.
And it's almost completely rejected. Property rights are too complicated. Rebuilding too urgent. Most streets follow their medieval patterns, but the city is rebuilt differently. New building regulations require brick and stone instead of timber and thatch.
Who thought of that?
Far more resistant to fire. And Wren does get to rebuild St. Paul's Cathedral. The new one, with the iconic dome, takes 35 years to complete. It's still there, dominating the skyline, one of the few buildings to survive the Blitz centuries later. 18th century London is the centre of the Enlightenment. Coffee houses become the internet of their day, places where ideas and news spread rapidly. Lloyd's Coffee House becomes Lloyd's of London, the insurance market. Jonathan's Coffee House becomes the London Stock Exchange. London is also becoming the capital of an empire. In 1735, Robert Walpole becomes the first Prime Minister to live at 10 Downing Street, which will remain the official residence for centuries. George III buys Buckingham House in 1761 as a private residence for his family. It will eventually become Buckingham Palace. The city is expanding physically too. Westminster Bridge opens in 1750, finally giving London a second crossing after 6 centuries with only London Bridge.
Right.
Blackfriars Bridge follows in 1769. After the defeat of Napoleon in 1815, Britain is the dominant world power, and London is where the money flows. Banks, trading houses, shipping companies. Wealth is pouring in from India, the Caribbean, Africa. Then comes the Industrial Revolution, and London transforms yet again. Factories, railways, mass production. In 1801, London has just over 1 million people. By 1851, it's 2.5 million. By 1901, 6.5 million. It's the largest city in the world. The Victorians build on a scale that's hard to comprehend. Trafalgar Square is laid out in the 1840s, commemorating Nelson's victory. The Houses of Parliament and Big Ben rise in the 1850s after the old palace burns down. That iconic, Gothic Revival architecture defining the city's identity. In 1851, the Great Exhibition opens in Hyde Park. The Crystal Palace, a massive structure of iron and glass, showcases Britain's industrial dominance to the world. 6 million people visit. It's a moment of supreme confidence, Britain at the peak of its power. The sewage system, still in use today, built by Joseph Bazalgette after the Great Stink of 1858, when the Thames became so polluted, Parliament had to shut down.
What? Nah, that's crazy. Hey, shout out to them for real, for real. I think a sewage really saved a lot of us for real, because I never really thought of that. Like, what if we didn't have one or something happened? Just burst or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that probably would have been crazy. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I can't even imagine something like that.
58, when the Thames became so...
There's been a few towns actually I've rolled through and it was bad and it smelled like it had some sewage problems. And yeah. So maybe
polluted, Parliament had to shut down. Bazalgette's sewers finally fixed the problem, channeling waste away from the river. Finally fixed the problem, channeling waste away from the river. The Underground, the world's first subway system, opening in 1863. The Tower Bridge, an engineering marvel completed in 1894. But Victorian London is also a city of brutal inequality. The rich live in Mayfair and Belgravia in extraordinary comfort. The poor are crammed into East End slums. Cholera outbreaks killed tens of thousands in the 1830s and 1840s. Entire neighborhoods wiped out by contaminated water. It takes a doctor named John Snow proving in...
Wait. So the water was contaminated from, other things? Or was it contaminated from the sewage issues? Because they said they finally got it to separate from the water. So they had me thinking, wait a minute. The water people was using, like, it was all in there? Imagine that, bro. Like imagine you gotta get your water and stuff imported because just the water where you're living is horrible. So you don't even have water on demand now, like access to water right away. I can't live like that. I can't live like that. Times was different. Did these people have showers in these years? Or was it more of like a bucket? Like you just outside with it? What was it like? Because what if people literally had to be at that river? Like, just, oh my gosh. And it just smells like straight up
contaminated water. It takes a doctor named John Snow proving in 1854 that cholera spreads through water, not air, before anyone fixes the problem. Crime is rampant. In 1829, Robert Peel establishes the Metropolitan Police, the first professional police force, nicknamed Bobbies after him. But the city's dark side persists. In 1888, Jack the Ripper terrorizes Whitechapel, murdering at least 5 women.
What?
He's never caught.
Why?
The case becomes infamous, a symbol of Victorian London's dangerous underbelly. Charles Dickens writes about it all. The workhouses, the slums, the children working in factories. The contrast between the world's wealthiest empire and its desperate poor, all compressed into the same city.
Oh man. So they never caught that guy? That's just a legend that lives within London? Not him as a legend. I mean, like legend as in like a story. I probably should have just said story, because that's crazy. 5 women. and then had the audacity to write about it. But at least he broke down the truth, though, you know? It's the same in today's time. People see all these lavish cities and stuff and wealthy people, maybe in Beverly Hills or this or that. Okay, but around the corner, like I've been to Beverly Hills. I've been all around there. Around the corner is literally the hood. It's literally the slums. It's not even buildings. It's a straight up homeless people. Like it's straight up a homeless town. And I don't even want to put it that way, but that's literally what it is. It's just homeless people. And the police officers don't even bother them. That's why I'm just saying it's like a homeless town. Like they have the right of way to just live there because there's too many of them. And it's so overpopulated, you can't even put them places. There's not enough. There's just not enough. And it's crazy. So they get very creative. And I've seen it. These people got the craziest tents. They done built tree houses and stuff. Living better than, they got to pay no bills or nothing. It gets to a point. But that's what it's like. That's literally what it's like. Philadelphia. I live 15 minutes from Philly. It's a beautiful city that holds nothing but history. And when you go there, you'll be like, man, are you serious? Like, man. You know, Strac would love to get back, help her out, you know, for real, but man, that's crazy. It's like that everywhere you go, man. It's not always peaches
The
and cream.
20th century brings London back down to earth. The First World War kills hundreds of thousands of young British men. However, London's main infrastructure survived. But the Second World War brings the war directly to the city, the Blitz. Between September 1940 and May 1941, German bombers hit London almost every night. Entire neighbourhoods are levelled. St Paul's Cathedral miraculously survives, photographs showing it standing defiant amid the smoke and flames. By the end of the war, 1 million buildings are damaged or destroyed, and almost 500,000 souls from the UK are lost. Post-war London is broke, bombed out, exhausted. The empire is collapsing. India gains independence in 1947. Rationing continues into the 1950s. Fog and coal smoke are so thick that in 1952, the Great Smog kills 12,000 people in just 5 days.
Wow.
But London rebuilds, again. The 1951 Festival of Britain, held on the South Bank, signals a new beginning. Brutalist towers rise from the rubble. The welfare state expands. And crucially, people start arriving from former colonies. The Windrush generation from the Caribbean in 1948, followed by waves of immigration from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, later from Africa, Eastern Europe, everywhere.
Hey, I had some family members, you know, travel from Guyana. They was like, hey, we going to London. Real talk. But they're now U.S. citizens and stuff. But that was their first option. I don't know. Should have stayed, but I said should have stayed. London was beautiful. London was beautiful, man. And it still is to this day. Why did they come to the U.S.? I think that's a question to ask them. Why did they come here? Why did they come here? If their first stop was London. For like half of their life. All right. Yeah, that's Strac got some questions. People been holding out on information. They're going to give it to me, though.
Bangladesh, later from Africa, Eastern Europe, everywhere.
I had family members from Jamaica going over there. Straight up. I had some family members, you know, working on the Panama Canal and everything, so they wasn't really home, but their wives and stuff, you know what I'm saying? They from Jamaica to London, from Guyana to London, like, yeah.
The 1960s bring a cultural explosion. Swinging London, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Carnaby Street, Mary Quant. For a moment, London feels young again. The next few decades are rockier. Economic decline, strikes, terrorism from the IRA. By the 1980s, the Docklands are abandoned, the East End is neglected. Then comes massive redevelopment.
Wait a minute. Hold on real quick. Let me...
IRA. By the 1980s, the docklands are abandoned, the East End is neglected.
So basically no boats? And no trading or nothing? Or am I getting the trading part wrong? Because I was specifically going to ask if trading was still being held here and everything. But if you saying that all this stuff was shut down and abandoned, that means London was making, they had to be making money, making a bag. We got people coming from everywhere. We don't need to post up at them docks. Man, open a shop. Open a franchise. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Man, these people coming to move here, man. They not coming in. They not posting their boats up at the docks no more, man. It's getting serious. They all coming on boats and ships and they moving here. Man, I would have been lit too. I would have been like, oh, forget the dock. I'm finna open up a shop or something. So was that what happened? You just got to make it that bag and everybody abandoned it? Let me know, please. Because what about the poor? What about the poor people that was working? That's if trading was going on still, you know? But if he meant completely abandoned, as if no boats are, you know, docking here and there's no trading this and that, then please help me out in the comments. But if I got this completely wrong, let me know as well. You know, I ain't Einstein. Even Einstein can tie shoes.
Economic decline, strikes, terrorism from the IRA. By the 1980s, the docklands are abandoned, the East End is neglected.
Got out of there.
Then comes massive redevelopment. Canary Wharf rises from the old docks. The financial sector booms. London reinvents itself as a global financial centre.
21st century.
The 21st century starts with the Millennium Dome, an expensive flop that later becomes the O2 Arena. But London keeps growing. The 2012 Olympics transform East London, bringing investment and infrastructure. The city passes 9 million people, the most since before World War II. Modern London is defined by its diversity. Over 300 languages are spoken here. Entire neighbourhoods have their roots in different parts of the world. Brixton's Caribbean culture, Southall's South Asian community, Chinatown, Turkish Dalston, Polish Hammersmith. You can eat food from any country, hear music from any tradition,
Facts.
find a community from anywhere.
And this is why I tell y'all, when you take trips, go chill with the locals that live there. Because it's not, that's what a lot of travelers think. Oh, I'm going to go to the UK. What you think is out there? Strictly British food? Oh my gosh. And some people really be having the audacity, not even going there or knowing about the place. But, oh, I'll go to London. I hope the food is good. You know, you deserve to eat nothing but British food for the rest of your life, as a matter of fact. I'm going to keep it 100 since you so uneducated, bro. Like as if the country didn't have other people coming here and here. You got people opening us for literally opening up restaurants. British people opening up. It don't matter what it is. Jamaican, Chinese cuisine. It don't matter. They open it up because they know we traveling there. And people are moving there. So they want them to feel at home too and adapt. They're going to make that money. Some people really be living in a box for real. I mean, like, oh, it's crazy. I don't judge
Hear
though.
music from any tradition, find a community from anywhere. The skyline keeps changing. The Shard, the Gherkin, the walkie-talkie building. Traditional architecture sits alongside glass and steel towers. It's controversial, constantly debated, but it's happening. London has survived Roman withdrawal, Viking raids, the Black Death, the Great Fire, the Blitz. Each time it rebuilds, each time it adapts, each time it pulls in new people with new ideas. That's what makes London, London. It's messy, crowded, expensive, complicated, and it's been that way for 2,000 years. Thanks for watching. Creating videos like this takes an enormous amount of research and time. It's mainly a passion project for me, piecing together thousands of years of history into one story. If you enjoyed this journey through London's evolution from Roman marshland to global metropolis.
Hold on. Because he did do that though. He executed. He didn't gave us mad years of history in 24 minutes and broke it down and broke it down to the fullest, and it was so understandable. I mean, I could call my little sister in this room. And she will understand this. She could tell us about it right after. What did we just watch? But y'all made it so confusing in school, and it gave us a test on it? Like, I tell you, they would stretch a lesson for about 2-3 weeks, stressing it. Just stretching it out and just stressing it, trying to drill it in our heads. And we still fail the test. We still failing. Ain't nobody succeeded. Don't nobody remember it the next week. Like, they made all of this seem so complicated, especially learning about Rome in middle school. That's like gotta be the worst year for me. 6th grade, I had the worst grades of my life in 6th grade. I had the worst grades of my life. I think I finished off school in the summertime. Never in my life have I had bad grades on report card. But 6th grade that summer, I felt so down on myself. I finished with like a C, a D, I think like I don't know, another C, a B. It was bad. Man, it was bad. And they made it so hard and difficult. 6th grade. And in 7th and 8th grade, it kind of lightened up. But that's a horrible introduction for people coming out of elementary school. I'm coming from 5th grade and I'm coming to middle school. And this is what you teaching us, just straight up. We ain't have no introduction to this in 5th grade or nothing. Not even an ending lesson towards the end of your, okay, this is what you're going to learn or be introduced to. None of that. It just hit us. And that's exactly why we all failed and didn't care to learn, didn't care to study, because it was so hard to understand all of this. Imagine learning about Rome this week, and then you're going to learn about the plague the next week. We're going to learn about the fire the next week. And we taking quizzes. We take about 2-3 quizzes a week, and we got a major test on all of this. Mind you, the test is about 3-4 months out, so I done forgot this. I don't got time for that. I ain't got time for that BS, man. I get my kid homeschooled. Before he come home and I ask him, what'd you learn in school? I don't know. I'm not doing that with you. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications on. Educate us down below in the comment section. Like I said, if this was the best history lesson I have ever received in my life, I'm writing a subpoena. I got to. There's no reason why you should be stretching all of this out through all those years confusing us. Could have learned this on 24 minutes. I understand we all learn at a different pace. I understand. It don't take 10, 12 years, though, to learn the full history of London. Because now that I'm thinking about it, all we ever learned about was the full history of London. We ain't learned about no other place. That's why we ain't know there was no other place that exists in the UK. We thought it was just London. That's all. They had so much time. This brother put it in 24 minutes. They put this, oh my gosh, 10, 12 years? Can we get some more Americans on this channel too? Seriously? Because I feel like a lot of us, needed to watch this video sooner. I bring all the Americans from our old schools and stuff and sit them in this room and we watch this video together. I bet you we have a very intellectual conversation after. Not like how it was back in the school days. Nobody won't raise their hand, huh? It's because you don't know. And like give us a video or something, but y'all want to go directly out of this fat ass book? Strac, read page 304. I'm not, what? How am I supposed to remember all of this? Then we got other students reading at a different pace and this and that. It was a lot. I'm actually kind of pissed because I didn't even need to go to school and graduate then. I could have sat here. I could have sat on my behind and made YouTube videos my whole life and straight up learned. I would have been so much ahead, way more ahead than the other kids in school. Because they only know what you're teaching them for real. They only know what you're teaching them. And that's a BS. The timing was perfect though, I tell you that. Please feel free to, did I say, yeah, share this video and share it to your friends and family members. Follow the Twitch in the description, man. I hope to catch you all in the next one. Flood my comment section with some more videos for us to react to, especially if you enjoy these history videos or just educational videos in general. Please put them in the comments. We're gonna get to it, but take it off that list. I gotta remember to take my phone off D&D or I'm not gonna get nobody's messages this whole day.